Do you think you could wait for a fellow like me?
Probably not. I don't wait for anyone.
I love that line. That's actually in the first episode of this series. It's called Z, the Beginning of Everything. And it's about the story of Zelda Fitzgerald. Zelda Fitzgerald, who was a socialite of a sort, correct?
Yeah.
Before we get into that, though, as I look at you and I think about your very colorful career, and I was a big fan of the Addams Family back in the day. And I was a big fan of Sleepy Hollow as well. Saw you on Grey's Anatomy. And I watched all your work over the years, and I was looking up, and I was like, how much money has she made, people, over the years? and it's to the tune, unless this information is incorrect, over $743 million based on all your
movies.
Is that high or low?
Sounds great, but I don't know where that money is.
You didn't get the money, but you get the critical acclaim. Yeah. And she's here with us today, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Christina Ricci is here. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good.
This is I don't want to get into the series yet. I want to get into you. Like, what's been happening with you, man? How's life been for you?
It's good. It's good. I have a 2-year-old.
Wow.
This show, I found this material and produced the show, set it up and everything. So it's been like a really, just been very busy.
You've been very busy. What's motherhood like for you?
Amazing.
Yeah?
It's amazing. I mean, I don't think anyone can ever prepare you for how great it is and how crazy difficult it is. But it's just the best thing I've ever done.
The best thing. And so with this movie, having a baby is the best thing you ever done?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Definitely. I'm going to have this little person that I love who's going to stick with me forever unless I destroy it,
We don't want you to do that.
You know what I mean? Like, unless I ruin the relationship, this child should be with me forever,
right. How do you feel about, I've been having a lot of conversations with my girls on how, like, Instagram, I feel, is pressuring parents into, like, making their little babies into adults when it comes to, like, their outfits. I see a lot of kids who look better than, like, 35-year-olds. Is there any pressure of, like, sharing your child with the world?
Well, I make an effort not to, because, I feel like just because I'm famous doesn't mean that he's going to want to be. Right. I don't know what kind of kid he's like, what kind of adult he's going to be. And I feel like people should be able to control who they are to the world instead of having somebody else decide for them. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But that's just me. And it probably has to do with having been a famous child.
That makes sense.
Yeah. How is it like working now that you have a child? Does a child come on set with you, or?
He does. I mean, I went back to work originally 2 months after I had him. So he would be on set for a lot of the day and then not, and on and off. And now that he is older, he'll come and visit about once a day, and then I see him, hopefully in the morning or at night, But it's hard because, as an actor, like I will end up working 17 hours a day. So then I only see him for an hour or something every day. So that's really difficult.
Okay, Christina Ricci is here, man. I'm having fun looking at you in person right now.
Yeah, and like humanizing her, right?
Exactly. Zelda Fitzgerald. We were talking about this today, DB and I. We were watching and going over like the time period and what society must have been like at the time that she actually got married and what her personality represented then. She was a very outgoing person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, too, a lot of the fascination with her has been that she had a mindset and an opinion about herself and the world that very much is more appropriate these days. And so it sort of feels like the reason people didn't understand her or were confused by her or felt that she was really unpalatable was because we couldn't understand her way of thinking until now. So it's almost like we have caught up with her finally. She just had a lot of assumptions about what she'd be able to do as a woman that don't really make sense given the time she lived in.
Yeah. And then she had a hard time, with her relationship with her father as well, right?
Yeah. Her father, it's kind of a common story. She was terrified of marrying a man just like her father because she felt that her father was very controlling. Her mother had aspirations of being an actress. won a role in a theater company and then was forced to marry Zelda's father and give up her dreams. And Zelda lived in fear of this, like her whole life, and then inadvertently ended up marrying a man who kept her from pursuing her dreams. So it's interesting, and it's funny because it's something that now that we are so kind of therapized as an audience, we can understand the inner workings and all the details that make this such a rich story.
Is that why you picked the story, like to play this role? Like what appealed to you about this role?
I think the thing when I read the book that it just like provoked this sense of social injustice for me, that we know so much about F. Scott Fitzgerald, and she's sort of this famous figure, but everything we know about her is wrong.
Yeah.
And it's what Hemingway said about her, and we all know that he was a huge jerk. So
He didn't like her, right?
No, he didn't like her. He was very competitive with her and with Scott Fitzgerald, and he ultimately bested Scott and kind of ruined him. And I think that he felt Zelda was very much in the way of that.
Wow, this is a really interesting story.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, and that when you get into it, because I found this whole world, the sort of like movable feast Hemingway world and the literati stuff, to be very intimidating and sort of impenetrable. And then when you kind of have one way in, which is Zelda, because she was very human and relatable, once you get in there and you kind of understand, like, oh, this is just human drama. Competition, people wanting to be famous, envy, all this stuff that's just so, it's so human that it just makes for, I don't know, a deeper understanding, I guess.
Yeah. Wow. Christina Ricci is here, man. TMZ would have ate this up if it was there. Right back then, they would have ate this story up, right?
Yeah.
That's who they were. I want to open up the phone lines, talk more about this series in your career. 888-742-3345. Give us a call.
Like you're going to a funeral. Why are you dressed like somebody died? Wait.
Oh, Wednesday's at that very special age when a girl has only one thing on her mind. Boys.
Homicide.
We had to take you back to about 90, 91. I think that was the Addams Family. Wednesday is here. Wednesday Addams is here.
Yeah. The coolest.
Right? Wait, what kind of life did you live as a child being famous? Like, you were a very recognizable actress who I feel like you stole scenes naturally. Like you just kind of, you had this distinguishable look about you, and you played that dark thing really well too. I don't know where you got that from.
I don't either.
But did you have a dark childhood growing up in Jersey?
No, I mean, not really. I don't know. I don't know where I got it from. My mom told me that I just had to make sure I didn't. She just said, "Don't be expressive. Don't be emotional. You don't have to be happy." And I was really tired for the audition, so I was like, "Great, I don't have to pretend I'm happy right now."
Really?
Yeah, because I had auditioned for 3 other things that day.
Yeah.
And I didn't even want to go to the audition because I was so tired. And my mom was like, "It's fine. Wednesday doesn't have any emotions, so just go in and be deadpan and it'll be fine." And I was like, "Oh, great, I can do that. As long as I don't have to do any acting, I'll be fine." Yeah.
Damn. Okay. That's too
good
much stress for a kid, right?
Yeah. Well, I was used to it at that point.
All right. Okay, so we're talking about Z, the beginning of everything. Season 1 premiering January 27th, Friday on Amazon Prime. We had a chance to look at it early because we know Christina really well.
We had the hookup.
Yeah, right, DB?
We were talking earlier about how in the beginning you're going to see how Zelda really didn't play by the rules of that time period. You know, she did what she wanted to. She kind of just liked to break out from the norm and what was expected of her in that age. So I was just wondering, because she did a lot to get the attention of males around her that she lusted after, if you want to say. Have you ever gone out of your way to kind of get the attention of a man if you were interested in him the way she did?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, certainly not the way she did. She
was kissing strangers.
Yeah. I try not to kiss strangers.
Okay, good.
No, I don't think I did ever actually do anything too crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did anyone do anything crazy to try to get your attention?
Oh God, I don't know. I can't remember anything offhand.
Yeah.
Once you become a mom, you don't think about
I can't remember any of it. No.
Past jump offs, basically.
Clean slate.
She's married now. Those past jump offs, she's flushed down the toilet.
Yeah, respected.
Respected, right? This series is kind of revealing to me in a sense, because F. Scott Fitzgerald, I never really knew who he was, but even you and I were talking. But from this series, I gather that he must have been a really insecure man.
Yeah.
You know, the way he was manipulated by Hemingway, and she even turned him down, right? They got engaged, and then she broke off the engagement because he wasn't able to suit her well enough.
Yeah, he came after his book was rejected, his first book, and said, well, at least you'll marry me. And she very much said, no, I'm not going to marry you. What, you know? And she sort of said, when you get everything together and you publish your book, come back to me. Okay. Because she really wanted him to not quit, and she wanted him to work hard. I think she also didn't like the assumption that he could have her.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a gold digging thing, though, right?
I don't think it was a gold digging thing because she didn't need it. She had much wealthier people proposing to her. So she could have married there were people in Montgomery who were very wealthy. She could have married, but I think that she was offended by the fact that he came to her in desperation and said, "Well, at least I have you." And she didn't like that assumption.
Yeah. Yeah, women don't like that.
No, it's not a good approach.
No. You want to try to
she was like the Rihanna of the day. You know, like Rihanna just kind of takes who she wants and then throws them to the curb. You know what I mean? Like, how many guys have tried to lock her down and have failed miserably?
I was a savage.
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah.
She said, I didn't say it. She said it.
Christina, you know that's Heather B from Real World, right?
I do.
Don't do that.
She was the first reality TV star to fight on TV. Give her a round of applause.
Why you do that?
Heather started that.
I got a question though, Sway, really quickly. Sway and I were talking this morning about like music, and you have one side where you're just independent and you want to do everything by yourself and you start off and you get going, and then the other side where it's just better to sign to a major label. You said earlier about you stepping out and producing this, and what made you, and at what point in your career did you decide, you know what, I want to start putting my name and my money behind projects?
I wanted to do it years and years ago, and I did produce a few things when I was younger. But I think I was too immature, and I wasn't able to really concentrate for that long, or really, I think I was lazy too. I just didn't want to do the work. And then before I read this book, you know, I got fired from something, and like I wasn't being cast in anything I felt that I could do. And very much with this, like I would never be cast in this part if I went and auditioned. I could give the exact same performance I give on the show, and they wouldn't have cast me because I'm just not, I've never been cast as the romantic lead. And so I kind of felt like I was at a place in my career where I was just like, you know what, I'm going to have to do this myself. And was lucky enough to find something that other people responded to also.
Wow. Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes you just have to take control and not just complain. I was sick of just whining about things.
Absolutely. What is everything? I'm so curious when it comes to production, because it's not a clear-cut set of like, there's not a clear job description of what it is, at least to me.
A producer?
Yeah. What is all the roles of it?
Well, there's a lot of, and it's different with TV and movies too.
Okay.
You know, with movies, I think it's much more of a vague title, you know, and sometimes they give you a producer's title in lieu of money. So, but with television, the EPs are all the producers that are have creative input and creative control. So that's what I was. I was one of 4 who had creative input and control and approval over everything.
Boss.
Christina Ricci is here, man. And Z, the beginning of everything, January 27th on Amazon Prime. Make sure you watch it. Interesting series. Jay from Charlotte is on the line. What up, Jay?
Jay, what's poppin'?
Big Jay.
What's good, fam? How y'all doing?
Doing all right, man. You got a question for Christina?
I do, and I'm looking forward to checking out your show, Christina. I've been a fan for a long time. I'm an actor myself, and one of my favorite films that I think I've seen you in was Buffalo '66, and you know, it was just such an interesting film and a nice indie. But I had a question: what was it like as an actor jumping onto a project where you dealt with your co-star being the producer, the director, the writer, the scorer, and almost everything, wearing all the hats? Was it fun?
Well, he also wore the hat of set lunatic, so it was a little bit difficult. And I was 17. It was my first movie without a guardian, and it was really strange because I didn't really understand what was happening a lot of the times. And then I found out that he was sort of in character but he would direct me in character. And so it was just very confusing for me. So I just sort of sat back.
Kudos to you for being able to pull it off.
Oh, thank you.
A great performance. That's a good job. I'm looking forward to seeing your show.
Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Thank you, Jay.
No, it's funny because Buffalo 66, you have to watch the movie to understand why he was asking that question, because it is kind of out there, you know what I mean, the whole plot and everything, but...
It's a great movie.
It is.
He did a great job, but
Who
he's
is he?
Crazy person, Vincent Gallo. And I wouldn't say this about another person, but right after the movie came out, he came out, all of his press was about bashing everyone involved. So it's not like I'm saying anything new.
Right. Okay. All right. Marcus is on the line. Marcus, go ahead,
Marcus, darling.
Marcus.
Hey, my question is actually about Buffalo 66 also. I was in film school, actually in New Jersey, and we had to watch that movie. And the teacher and everyone in the class, the rumor was that was your boyfriend, your male co-star, and he made you perform real fellatio during the movie.
I think you're talking about Brown Bunny, which is his second movie with Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah, that wasn't her there,
Not
Marcus.
me.
Thank you. Get out of here. Let me get a clean question here. Hold on. All right.
Wow.
You are mistaken, sir.
Yeah, get out of there.
I like that Christina knew the answer though.
Yeah, Christina, that wasn't me with the fellatio, dog.
She's like that.
You wouldn't have made that. Okay. You wouldn't do that, right, Christina?
No.
Okay, thank you. I wouldn't either.
I mean, I understand. I mean, to each their own.
Yeah,
But that's not for me.
That's not for you. Pop from B More. What up, Pop?
Pop.
Oh, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
How y'all feeling?
Great. Clean question. Go ahead, Pop.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to know, you said you were shooting for 17 hours. I wanted to know, is that like a typical shooting, or is that like your first show you did where you had to shoot for that longer period of time?
No, unfortunately, as I get older as an actress, the hours get longer because your pre-call is so much longer. I'm in that hair and makeup for 3 hours, especially if it's a period piece. And then the crew can work 14 hours. So we come in 3 hours early, and then there's 14 hours of actual shooting.
Yo, she giving us a lot of behind the scenes game.
I have a lot of information.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I see. Well, you got to come back since you're in Jersey.
I would love to.
Okay, come back, and then we'll just have some more fun conversation. And Christina, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Keep up the great work, the quality work. You've yet to let us down in a row.
Thank you.
If you had, I would let you know. You're like 9 out of 10 or something but you're 100%. So I appreciate you. Z, the beginning of everything, season 1, Friday on Amazon Prime, January 27th. Make sure you watch it. Thank you for coming through. We're gonna play back your calls right after this.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.